this episode we're looking at how you should be practicing if you want to see real improvements in your playing. Hello and welcome to Tuts, the show where we explore guitar playing and music theory to take our playing to the next level. I'm your host, Ray George. So I'm fairly sure everyone knows that if you want to learn and become proficient at anything, you have to practice. I'm pretty sure there aren't any skills in life in general that can be acquired purely by osmosis. The two questions though are how much and how long should you practice, and a question of equal if not greater importance is what should you be practicing to see big improvements. In answer to the first question, it's pretty simple. The more that you put in, the more that you're going to get out. So the more that you practice, the better that you're going to get. I thought that was kind of logical, kind of common sense, but I have experienced people who don't improve from week to week and they wonder why. But then when you ask them how long that they practice every day, they say something like 10-20 minutes, and it's pretty clear why they're not making bigger improvements. Of course, some people just pick things up more quickly than others, but as a general rule that applies to everyone, the more that you practice in both length and frequency, the faster that you're going to improve. But, and this is a big but, only if you're practicing efficiently, in the right way and playing the right stuff. This clearly brings us to the second question, which I hear people asking a lot from people who are beginners, to people who have learnt loads of songs and have great chops but lack real understanding of music and how to apply it. And I even ask myself this question sometimes in order to get back on track and actually make improvements with my playing. It's so easy to pick up the guitar and just play everything you already know and enjoy, and that's great, especially if you're already at that level where you can do that. But if you get stuck doing that, you're only going to get better at playing what you already know, and you're not going to make any real progress. And that's where a more structured routine or regimen is pretty much vital. Now, there's no specific kind of cookie cutter routine that works for everyone, since everyone's at a different stage and has different goals. And on top of that, as you progress, what you practice should also move with you. For instance, if you're a beginner and you're just learning the major scale, you'll need to put a lot of time into playing that scale in multiple different ways and really perfecting it. Once you've done it, then you won't need to spend the same amount of time on that particular scale anymore. You can probably just add it to your warm-up routine and maybe just quickly run those exercises before going on to the next thing that you're learning. So there's definitely not just some list of things to practice that applies to everyone, but there are some general areas or categories that you could use in order to tailor a practice regimen that works for you wherever you're currently at with your playing. These include music theory. That's basically understanding and learning scales, chords, harmony, and all of that. Learning where it is on the fingerboard and practicing it. Then there's the physical technique to actually playing it. So that could be your alternate picking, your strumming, your slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, the actual mechanics of playing. And finally, applying what you've worked on in the last two categories by learning relevant licks, riffs, maybe solos or whole songs, or even writing your own based on what you've learnt. But then obviously what you include in those categories will have to be reviewed periodically, whether that's daily, weekly, bi-weekly. It just depends on how much time you're putting into it and how fast you're progressing. On top of that, there are a couple of things that you should be doing every day before you go into your planned practice, which are warming up. As I said before, good things to use to warm up are a selection of anything and everything that you've worked on previously in your regimen to help them keep them up to scratch. The second is learning the notes on the fingerboard. You should take a little time either before or after you warm up to practice memorizing and recalling notes on the fingerboard, even if you don't plan on reading music, because being able to recall any note on the fingerboard is essential to effectively improving your playing, since everything you ever play is made up of those notes. So that's basically it for this week's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and found something that you can apply to your own routine. If so, please hit that like button. If you feel like you need a hand with what exactly to study and practice on the guitar, I offer one-to-one lessons in Dublin, Ireland, or I'd be happy to give you a hand via Skype. Just head over to my website to get in touch. I'm also really interested to hear if you have any other tips when it comes to getting results from your practice. Please leave them in the comment section. And as usual, if you have any queries, comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to post those down below too. And if this is one of the first of my videos that you're watching, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I post videos like this as well as covers, performances and gear demo reviews every week, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date.